5th annual Women's Empowerment Night at Arkansas Gymnastics. And for the two head coaches, they were pretty clear on, they've had a lot of people empower them, but for Jordan Weaver, the Arkansas head coach, it was Miss Val, the legendary coach at UCLA, and Elaine Heber, who gave OU coach KJ Kindler her very first chance at a head coaching position. Josh Haley and Sydney Limmerhurt with you, and who empowered you growing up?
Yeah, so for Women's Empowerment Meet, I have to honor my coach, Courtney McCool-Griffith. She was the very first Olympics I remember watching, but she's truly the reason I wanted to go compete in college. I remember watching her, and then I got lucky enough that she ended up being my college coach for the end of my career. She helped me get through a major injury and really finishing out my career strong, so I owe a lot of why I am here today because of her.
Well, let's check in on the sidelines with Emerson Burris. And Emerson, who empowered you?
Jordan Betts is a 2015 Arkansas graduate from the broadcast journalism program. She's now become an older sister figure, a best friend. She's the head of the NIL deals at Charlie Hustle T-shirt company in Kansas City, and she just pushes me to be not only the best broadcaster, but the best version of myself, the best woman I can be. And I sat down with Reese Drotar this week to get the team's thoughts on the Empower Her night, and Reese Drotar told me, we're here to inspire all of the little girls in the stands and watching us on TV to pursue their dreams and passions.
All right, thanks, Emerson. A great night here in Fayetteville inside of Bud Walton Arena, Women's Empowerment Night. Back for rotation 2 in a moment. Back in Fayetteville as we get set for rotation number 2. Oklahoma off to a good start. That's going to make the coaching staff, 18th year leader KJ Kindler, very happy. 6 national titles. And when you think they can't reach new heights, then they go, and this past week, a new NCAA record in QS.
Yeah, she truly is one of the greatest coaches of all time, and when we talked to her, I even said, how do you do it? That's all I wanted to know. How do you repeatedly get better with this team week after week? And, you know, she's very humble. She didn't want to say how. She didn't want to give away too many secrets, but it's just so impressive that they're able to produce week after week.
You know, especially with so many different options for that lineup, and their focus this week on chemistry and team camaraderie. And both of these coaches have a lot of depth, the ability to write the lineup. But you look at those vault leaders, and for Oklahoma, the NQS in the vault, 49,505. They want to continue the momentum that they picked up on bars, and the way Coach Kindler put it, we want to be big when it comes to the vault. You've performed in front of some rowdy environments. Is it after that first rotation when you finally get to exhale and catch your breath again?
Yeah, just a little bit. Especially, I competed vault, so it was always kind of hard to dial in those landings when you're so pumped up, especially to have a crowd like this in your home crowd. It's insane. So after the first event's over, you can kind of breathe. Usually the team, you know, comes together and it's like, all right, let's settle in. And that's exactly what I think we're going to see here. Very nice Chenko 1.5 by Faith. You could tell she was a little short on that landing, so she had to take a hop back. If anything, you want to be able to take a hop forward. You want that over rotation, which would mean you'd have a big vault like KJ Kindler is looking for. So she was trying a little too hard to focus on that landing, but since it's a 10-0 start, it'll still be a very good score.
Faith Torres coming off of a career-high 9.95 last Sunday.
Good first handstand. Ture, very nicely done. Pack, very nice. Sometimes she'll lose form on that too. She had a little bit of difficulty last week against Mizzou on that pirouette, but looked much better tonight. She's really zoning in on these little details, just as double-A dismount. Hop back. Great start. much improved from her last week. Callie's such a consistent leadoff for them. That double A, like I said, just packed her in her hips a little bit, so she didn't keep that flat position, so she had to take that hop back. Still should be a good score and a good start for the Hawks.
One event title this year for Swaney on bars. There's Kira Wells.
Wow. She got such a nice block off that table, and when I say block, it means that little pop that you see when they change direction and go up. So you can see right here, she goes straight up. Very nicely done. And a 1.5, you have a blind landing, so it's a lot harder to see where you're gonna land. So sometimes if you move your head forward too quickly, you're gonna have to take that hop like she did. But when they stick it, it is incredible.
Head coach Jordan Weaver said she's looking for those small, minor details to kind of be sharpened up a little bit this week. The pointed feet you see there.
And she did rush that handstand a little bit going into her bail to the low bar. And might have been a little short on that last one too. She's just rushing it a little bit in her head. But makes up for it with the dismount. Good job. That's exactly what they need. And hopefully that'll start a train of sticks for this Razorback bar rotation. See right there, she was dialed in.
Arkansas coming off a 49-3 at Missouri last weekend. They know they're capable of much more than that. And that might open the floodgates for it.
And watch out for this vault. If she sticks it, this can go 10. Again, another little short vault. You can tell they're almost going too hard for these sticks. They know they're capable of doing it, but they're going too short because they're trying to think about the stick too early. You see, she takes that step back, so that will be a deduction. But since they start from a 10-0, like I said, they have a little bit of an advantage against Arkansas's vault rotation.
Brings up Reese Drotar. Picked up a title on bars against Auburn back in January. SEC all-freshman team selection from a year ago, who just continues to get better.
Reese is one of my favorite bar workers, bar swingers. She's so tall, but she makes bars look so easy. And when she hits, I don't know what they take. Again, I'm not a judge, but when she hits, it's hard to take anything. Very nice. Shaposh, immediate bail. Wow, straight to the handstand. Very nicely done. You can tell she's not rushing. She's taking her time, and she can get this landing. This will be huge. Just some little feet shuffles in place. But still, very nicely done. See that dismount? How long she is so pretty. And she just rushed it a little bit. She's trying to keep that hold. This year, you have to hold your sticks for at least 1 second. So the college salute is no longer.
Kat Lavasser, who's got a tender credit in her career.
Man, she has been dialed in on that vault this year, and honestly, I think that she should have more 10s. She's gone 997 on that, 9975 on that vault so many times. Won't be a 10 tonight, but very, very pretty 1.5.
Turn our attention to Jensen Scalzo for the Razorbacks.
Beautiful Jaeger to bail. That looked like one of her better ones she's done. She really turned it over so she was able to get into that bail properly. Beautiful last handstand. She needs to get that stick. And she does! Wow! She always looked like she was surprised herself that she had it, but I think Bud Walton is magic for Jensen. I think she sticks that every single time here in Bud. That was very nicely done. Wow, just dials it in. I love her game face. That was phenomenal.
Could be the second 9-9 of the year for Scalzo on bars. We'll wait and see. Hannah Scheibel, top 15 vaulter in the nation.
For handspring front pike half, she does a different vault than you typically see. She does that front handspring entry, but that's still out of a 10, and it is very, very difficult to do. Coach Kindler said she's really improved. She went through a phase of figuring out, she's a freshman, so you have to figure out that freshman year, and she's finally started to figure out that vault. That was very nicely done. Beautiful. Toe on, toe off. Teray. Wow, the height that she just got on that was huge. Very nicely done. Again, she was out sick last week, so it's nice to see her back in the lineups. So far, so good on this bar routine. Double A. Little hop, trying to hold that 1 second. And that's a routine they're really going to need in the postseason, so it is nice to see her back. When she dials it in, that's going to go big for the Razorbacks.
That lineup's been pretty consistent for Coach Weber and her staff on bars, with Park being in that 5th spot, except for, like you mentioned last week, being out. But right back there this evening. Audrey Davis tying her season high with a 9.85 last time. Ava Sigfeld on a change in the lineup.
Very nice, 1.5. She had really good distance on that vault. She kind of finished that half turn a little late, but that kind of caused that hop forward. But that's going to be very nice to have in lineup. If they need to rest anyone, if they just need to switch it up like Oklahoma does, that'll be nice to be able to do that.
Maddie Jones to round out bars for the Gymbacks.
Maddie went 9.925 on this last week. She has, I was going to say, she has very beautiful bars, and she has kind of gone in an up and down fashion this season when it comes to her routine. Seemed like she was just a little too far, didn't have that dowel over, which means part of her grip that allows you to hold on to the bar. Let's see if they're gonna have her. Yeah, she's just going to continue her routine from where she fell. As unfortunate. So they will be dropping her score.
Coming off her 2 best outings of the year, including a career high 9.95.
This is a beautiful way to end this routine. Double A. She's definitely going to be disappointed. Like you said, she just came off of that 9.925, and she knows what she's capable of now. But sometimes you have to go through that adversity to really figure out how to dial it in.
It's kind of a pride and character moment, isn't it? To say, you know, you could easily say, well, we're just going to drop that and move on, but she gets right back up and kind of sends a message to everybody.
Yep, and then it's important because if there would have been another fall in the lineup, she's going to have to hit the routine so it doesn't count as much. Very nice Yurchenko full from Sheridan. She doesn't bring the difficulty that Oklahoma's lineup typically does, but like I said, it's nice to have those Yurchenko fulls that are clean and that can still score just as big as your 1.5s.
49.525 is what Oklahoma finishes with on vault.
excited to see Leah on bars. I think the last time she competed bars was her freshman year, so a few years ago. And she's been training really consistently in the gym, trying to crack that lineup, but they also want to keep her healthy because she's such a mainstay in the other two. So I'm really excited to see her do this bar routine today. And she's going to be challenged a little bit too, with the judges having to figure out what to do after a fall. Nice first handstand. Toe on, toe off to a Maloney. Nicely done. Bail. So far, so good. Nice last handstand. Just the dismount left. Double A. With a stick. Wow. That is a bar routine that they're going to want to put in their lineup. Unfortunately, they don't get to count it tonight. It would have been nice to have that score in the lineup, but wow, what a good job by Leah.
Beautiful stick, and yeah, that's definitely going to give you some options here coming in with the postseason rapidly approaching. Let's check in on the sidelines. Emerson Burris is with OU coach KJ Kindler.
Coach, you said you wanted to see your team bring the fire and momentum this week. Where are you seeing that in these first two events?
Yeah, I mean, super pleased with our landings on bars, 5 out of 6. That was phenomenal. And then our exhibition, Mei Lin, she finally stuck her dismount. That was very exciting for us. Vault improved across the board. Better landings, better amplitude. Just really happy with that.
What do you want to see going forward in these last two events?
I mean, just keep the momentum. Do what we always do in the gym. Yes.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Emerson. Yep, I can imagine she would be pleased with what she's seeing so far. Her team performing well in the first two events. 2 more to go, and lots of energy left to unpack here inside of Bud Walton Arena.